But, mistakes are going to happen in any football game. I just think that when the underdog has something like that go their way, especially early in a playoff game, it's more significant than when a mistake like that happens in a regular season game, when you get a break like that in a regular season game. And the 1 seed, for that reason, is always a little bit tighter.
No doubt.
I don't know that the bye is always a good thing, because you're always facing a team that just won a playoff game.
There's something to that.
They're showing up in the ring with a sweat.
Right. That's right.
They're ready.
That's right.
They're ready. Let's go.
We
ready.
know what playoff punches feel like. We're ready to take a few and go with it and then throw our own. There's definitely an advantage to your point there, Mike. No doubt about it.
And they've already won a game. They've been there. They've done it. They've proven to themselves they can do it. While you had a week off, thinking about things, fretting about things, worrying about things, planning about things. How much do we change? How much do we continue? That I know from a health standpoint, a recovery standpoint, that's a useful week off. But I think psychologically, and we still see it happen. Both 1 seeds were dumped in the divisional round this year, and I think that early break, that early mistake, that early oh crap moment. I talked about it last week.
Yeah, sure.
George McFly curling up his fist and catching a lucky roundhouse to Biff is just enough. And it doesn't end it. It doesn't end the fight. It starts the fight.
Right.
Right? And that's what it did Saturday night. It started the fight, because without that Mercedes Lewis fumble, and we played it a couple of times, without that fumble, the Packers very well go down the score and they go up 14-0 or 10-0, and it becomes much harder for the 49ers team as it's constructed to get back into the game.
Yeah, they can never get it to that point, Green Bay. They can never really totally dictate the flow of the football game because of that. And what I'll go to again is, I think we have one team there that's a great team that doesn't have a Super Bowl quarterback. I think we have another one where I'll say it's a good team that has a Super Bowl quarterback, and we're misled to think they're equal. You go through the units again, there's a lot more units I'm taking on the 49ers than the Green Bay Packers. I still will go back to Green Bay and the fact that there's still, in my opinion, a lack of toughness in Green Bay that is up to the standards of the team we see get to the Super Bowl, or the NFC Championship teams, or whoever the AFC Championship team is the last few years. Yeah, there's a lack of toughness and just pure brutality from the Packers that always jumps out to me with these almost got there but didn't get there type teams in Green Bay. And to me, again, I'm going to go down to this. They're still too Aaron Rodgers centric at this point in his career. He's not Mahomes or Allen to where he can run around and just make plays all the time. Again, Aaron Rodgers didn't play bad the other night. But he's a part of a team where you see in the playoffs every year where if he doesn't absolutely take over and just play unbelievable football, they can never overcome it. And they can't do it. And there again was the other night. He played good, but it wasn't great. There was no wow or oh my gosh. And then there's nobody else on the football team that comes up and ever makes a play for the Green Bay Packers. And that's going to be part of his legacy and something he's have to deal with. But I think Green Bay has, of course, contributed to some of that too, as you can tell by what I'm saying.
30 years of Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. 30 years. And they have 2 Super Bowl championships and 3 Super Bowl appearances to show.
It's too much waiting on the one guy to just be a baller all the time.
Unbelievable.
He'll carry us. He'll make the plays when we got to. And as we're seeing again, even Tom Brady yesterday, you need some help. You need some other guys to make some plays for you to get us back in the game. And that's a luxury I feel like Aaron Rodgers hasn't always had in his career. And that's where I do defend him a little bit. And that was a tough one for them to lose that football game.
Hey, and the Chiefs aren't giving into that temptation to just let Patrick Mahomes go out and be the guy. They understand the importance of having a defense, of having an offensive line that will keep him from having turf toe that is debilitating to him in Super Bowl 55, and search and scratch and claw for a running back to finally be the complement that they needed, and they found it in Jerick McKinnon. All due respect to Clyde Edwards-Helaire, McKinnon is playing better than Edwards-Helaire right now. So it's that constant push. And I don't want to turn this into a moratorium on referendum. Yeah. A referendum on the way Green Bay operates its team. But it gets back to not having that one person who's in charge who has that relentless burning, we must push over the top, we must get better, we must do this, we must do that. That's where corporate ownership, I think, hurts the Packers, that you don't have that one strong, hard-charging, just force of nature owner that insists that we're going to take advantage of having Aaron Rodgers as our quarterback and do everything we can to put a winning team
that's
around.
where they drop the ball. That's where they drop the ball. Again, there's no, again, yeah, we got Devontae Adams, but even though you would look at Jimmy Garoppolo and go, wait, but he's got Devontae Adams, and George Kittle, and a Brandon Ayuk, and an offensive coordinator who's the most genius running coach we've seen in football the last 20 years, and Shanahan. So he's got those kind of advantages. That's where, again, I just get into it. We look at the game the other night. It's a microcosm to me. I'm not trying to sit here and make an excuse for Aaron Rodgers. I'm not. But to me, this is where their team drops the ball, and this is why they fall short the last few years. To your point, with the Kansas City Chiefs, we got to make a move. We get Melvin Ingram. Wait, all right, we got Tyreek and Kelsey already. Let's get a McCole Hardman to go along with it. We've tried to get Josh Gordon. We had Sammy Watkins. Yes, they realize what they have, and then they go, wait, he's awesome, and he can almost do it by himself, but it's still a team sport, and we got to give him a few guys here that stress the other good teams out when we play them. And to me, that's where Green Bay drops the ball. Again, the other night, who else was there? Aaron Jones had a good night receiving the football. Really? That's who we got to rely on? The running back out of the backfield in one of the biggest games of the year? And then his biggest play is not even a play that the team really draws up, just a blown coverage by the 49ers, and Rodgers just makes a play, right? So that's, again, to where I just go, there's a Jimmy and a Joe that need to be had on both sides of the ball for the Packers for them to get over the edge if they want to beat teams like the Bucs or the 49ers or whoever it may be that stands in the way of their Super Bowl. And that's, to me, where they drop the ball, Mike, and I think your point's real in my opinion.
That play by Aaron Jones, I saw some criticism of him on social media, and it's hard to be critical of the catch and the run. He got open, but it feels like he didn't turn
it on
and turn it on and understand that where his angles were and where his opportunity was. Because I think if he just would have gone, hit the Jets, he would have had a chance to make it to the end zone.
I don't know
what
why
he's
he didn't
doing
either.
here.
You're
When
right.
he does that cut,
yes.
I think he can outrun.
Right.
I think he can. Who is that at three? Is that Tart?
That's Judge Kwaski Tart. Right, exactly right.
Yeah, I think he could have outrun Tart if he just would have gone straight for the end zone.
Or it might have even been Jimmy Ward.
I think he outsmarted himself.
I agree.
I think he outsmarted himself.
Should have trusted his speed. You're right. It was Tart. You're right 100%. But, yeah, he should have just turned it on right here, and it looked like he was almost a little like, I'm not sure if I'm going to outrun him, so let me look for the cutback, and he let him get it. But those are big plays. Again, they really are. And, I sit there, and, again, this is where I go, yeah, Aaron Jones is really good. Is he as good as like Dalvin Cooks and Derrick Henrys and Nick Chubbs when they're healthy and hitting on all cylinders? I don't know about that. I mean, to me, Dalvin Cook scores a touchdown there. Sorry, I don't know what else to say. That was a huge moment, though, because what happened? They didn't score a touchdown. They kicked a field goal. It got blocked, and they got nothing out of one of the biggest plays of their game right there. So, again, it goes back to there's just a lack of the Jimmies and Joes in Green Bay. They need another stud or two on both sides of the ball to get them over the edge in these type of football games. And to me, that's what the difference was. They didn't execute. They didn't play the style of football they played all year long. They made some mistakes. We haven't seen them really do that much this year, and it was the worst time for that to happen, and that's why they'll be at home next weekend.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.